And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the old ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country.
I have here a newspaper clipping which quotes the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. as confirming the theory that the earliest ancestors of the camel roamed what is now North America. And since the camel originated right here, I'm sure you'll be interested in the story of the great American camel experiment of 100 years ago. I call the story Camel Train. The two men who rode into this valley in 1847 knew nothing about camels having roamed in this region 40 million years ago. They were on an exploring trip, the first white men ever to set foot in this place, which a party of 49ers would later name Death Valley. They are Edward Fitzgerald Beale, lieutenant in the United States Navy, presently on land duty, and the famous scout Kit Carson. They're interested not in the past, but the future, seeking new routes westward. Yet, oddly enough, it is camels they're discussing.
You know that book by Abbe Huck I was reading out loud to you last night, Kit?
You ever travel without a book in your pack, Ned?
Well, not if I can help it. It gave me an idea, though. If camels are so useful on the deserts of China and Tibet, why couldn't they be equally useful here in our American desert?
They sure scare the blue blazes out of the Indians.
And outrun the Indian ponies, too, which is more than our cavalry can do. By George, the next time I go to Washington, I'm going to put the idea up to Jefferson Davis.
Jefferson Davis? Who's he?
He's head of the Senate Committee on Military Affairs and vitally interested in opening up the West.
Go to it.
You kind of skeptical about the idea of a camel corps?
No. I just never seen a camel, that's all. Except in pictures.
And you will, though. I predict you'll see them on our American desert as part of the Army transport system, and within the next few years. It wasn't until 4 years later, though, in 1851, that I got the chance to present my idea to Jeff Davis.
Do you know, Mr. Davis, how much a pack camel can carry? Over 1,000 pounds. Do you know how far a riding camel can travel? 90 miles a day. They require almost no water and can live for weeks on their own humps.
You've done a lot of reading on the subject, Lieutenant.
Everything I could lay my hands on for the past 4 years. What I know about the Southwest hasn't come out of books, though. I've lived that.
I'll say you have. I reckon there's no man in this country, unless it's Kit Carson, knows the Southwest better.
And the more I travel it, the more convinced I am that camels are the answer. Look at the distance between these army posts. Vast, arid stretches, overrun with hostile Indians. How are you going to patrol them? How are you going to provide communication, transport supplies, protect the immigrants going to the gold fields?
With camels.
You really mean it?
I certainly think it's worth a try.
Mr. Davis.
I'll present the matter to Congress at the earliest opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
3 times Jefferson Davis put the camel project up to Congress, and each time they rejected it. It was frustrating, especially as I had been months working out a plan to open a road across the Southwest with the camels as soon as we got them over here. I decided to go east to my home in Chester, Pennsylvania, where my wife, Mary, was waiting.
Ned, I feel sure that Jeff Davis will push it through this time, now that he's Secretary of War.
Dear Mary. Always the loyal helpmate.
Well, I know one congressman who'll vote for it. My father.
If there's one thing in life I find it hard to bear, it's waiting for action.
I know you do, dear. But Cousin David Porter has promised to let us know. There he is, I hope.
David, come in.
Ned, Cousin Mary.
How nice to see you.
David, any news?
The news is good from your standpoint, Ned.
You mean Jeff Davis put it over?
He did.
Wonderful.
He got an appropriation and is naming a commission to proceed to the Near East to purchase camels.
Good, good. That's great.
Oh, you see, Ned, they do appreciate your ideas.
Yeah, there's only one thing wrong with the picture. I'm to head the commission.
Oh, who could head it any better?
Well, after all, you lived in Constantinople as a boy when Uncle Porter was consul there.
Have you ever smelled a camel? Think of spending weeks aboard ship with 80 of them.
But it'll be fun to visit some of those ports again, won't it?
When are you sailing?
In a matter of weeks. As soon as we can convert the naval store ship Supply into a floating caravanserai.
How long will it take before you get the camels over here?
Several months. August, perhaps.
The plan is to take them to Texas by water, and we'll land them there.
And then what?
That's where your husband takes over, my dear. As soon as I get the camels off of my ship, the whole experiment is up to Lieutenant Edward Beale. Ned to you. He dreamed up this whole thing. He'll have to see it through.
And I will, too. I'll prove that the American desert and the Army need this Camel Corps.
You'll both see it through. Well, I think it's simply wonderful the part you two are going to play in opening up the West. But of course, I didn't dream what the problems would be. Cousin David's letters were a revelation. The effort to get strong, healthy young camels. The struggle to get Arab cameleers who would agree to stay in the United States. The difficulties on the ship. With those poor beasts lashed to the decks in the storms. And of course, manlike, they never thought of the baby camels that would be born at sea, or how to take care of them. And my poor Ned, waiting there in Texas in the August heat, to take over the whole responsibility of acclimatizing the strange beasts in a strange land.
I'll never forget my first sight of a camel. I could tell he was sneering at me. The first night ashore, we put the camels in a corral, fenced with cactus. By morning, they had eaten their way out, spines and all. I think it's wonderful that camels will eat cactus. It goes to prove they can subsist on anything. You're going to do all right here in our desert, old fella. Have they got names?
Him Saeed. That means gentleman.
Gentlemen.
While we're performing introductions, let me introduce you to Haji Ali from Smyrna. We call him Haji Ali.
How do you do?
Effendi.
Who offended who?
Effendi is a term of address. Let me introduce you to the other boys. George Carolyn Bull, Mustafa Azam, Ali Suleiman. These two are the best saddle makers in all of Turkey.
You like ride?
Well,
Him fast trotter.
Oh, I don't doubt it, but I think I'll wait till he's got his land legs first. Thanks.
Oh, nonsense. The beast needs his exercise. Climb aboard.
Makes me seasick just to look at him.
You'll get used to that motion by the time you reach California, Sergeant.
What do you mean, sir?
As soon as the camels are recovered from their voyage, Lieutenant Beale is planning to try them out on a wagon road survey clear to California.
The heck you say?
I don't say. Secretary of War says.
Osley Gred go California. Fine gold.
And I hope the day will come when the three of us together will have a home in California.
Then I can go on a camel train with Papa.
Oh, I'm afraid not, son. You're just a baby yet.
I can ride a baby camel. Anyway, I wish I could see a camel.
Well, maybe you'll see and ride one someday.
I think camels are cute.
Well, designed for the desert anyway. Do you know how many stomachs they have?
How many?
4.
4? Why?
Well, one of them is used to store water in.
Gee, think of having 4 stomachaches. Why do some camels have 2 humps and the others have 1 hump?
Well, Papa will answer all of your questions when the expedition is over.
When will it be over?
Oh, I wish I knew. I miss him.
I miss Papa, too.
Well, we'll be hearing from him, darling. He's keeping a diary every mile from Fort Defiance, New Mexico to Fort Tejon, California. He's going to bring it back and read it to us. Now, won't that be fun?
Not as much fun as riding a camel.
Blast you! Why'd I ever join the army anyway?
We number 48 men, 12 wagons, and 120 animals. Each camel is loaded with 700 pounds of forage for the horses and mules. The camels themselves browse on anything they find along the way. They require almost no sleep.
Fire's getting low.
I'll gather some more greasewood. Rattlesnake!
He bite you?
No.
Lucky.
Nice shooting, sir. Thanks.
The country is growing rougher, more waterless. The camels alone seem unworried. They are living up to all my expectations. The only problem they create is a human one.
Take that, you black heathen! And that! Stop it! I said stop it!
What do you mean, treating a camel like that?
He tried to bite me.
Serves you right the way you handle him. Can't you learn?
I hate the critters. Give me a mule anytime.
A mule? One camel is worth 4 mules. The answer is you're afraid of them. You take it out in abuse. You're harsh, stupid, totally unfit. From now on, you leave the camels to the native boys.
That suits me fine, sir.
That's all right, fella. Easy now, easy.
Today, our camp was visited by Mojave Indians with melons for sale.
How much? $1, United States.
$1? How many?
One.
$1 apiece? Well, that's highway robbery.
Melon good. Juicy.
Not worth $1.
$1.
Doggone. They know our tongues are hanging out. First fresh fruit we've seen in weeks.
Now look, Chief, let's be reasonable. We like you, you like us. Let's be friends, let's talk this over.
$1, take or leave.
50 cents.
$1.
60 cents.
$1.
75 cents.
$1, take or leave.
All right. Stacy, you deserve the Medal of Honor.
Thank you, sir. But I'll settle for a couple of cantaloupes.
Well, this is the one place I've been dreading.
Well, the current doesn't look too swift.
For animals who can swim. Oh, it's said that camels can't.
Is it true that camels can't swim?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Well, if they can't, we'll get them across by raft.
And the expedition will have failed. Hi, Jolly. Bring up your camel. And bring up one of those saddle horses. Tie a rope to that camel's lead line. Okay, now lead him into the river with your horse.
Look at him strike out!
He's holding his own against the current. Strong as anything.
Hey, Carol! Hey, Carol!
Hi, Jolly. String them together, each to the saddle of another.
Boys, keep moving, keep rolling. We're almost there. Let's go!
I ever seen. Any one of us worth 10 army mules.
Hey, you changed your mind about those camels, Sergeant?
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir.
Please, this is California?
Sure.
Where is gold?
You didn't expect to find gold in an army post, did you? The fellers tell me there's some diggings up north of here. A place called Whiskey Flats.
Whiskey?
Yeah, whiskey.
Please.
Oh, I forgot. You Muslims don't indulge, do you? Anyhow, I hear Whiskey Flat is a roaring gold camp.
How far?
Maybe 50 miles.
One night on camel.
Oh-ho, so that's what you're up to. You better not let the lieutenant catch you.
That you, Hi Jolly? Where are you going?
Whiskey Flat, Effendi.
Whiskey Flat?
Fine gold.
Our job's only half done. We've got to see how the camels make out in the snows of winter.
Hardly come to California to find gold.
All right. You're free to go to the gold fields if you want to. You're not bound by contract, and I can't stop you.
Who take care of camels?
Our own soldiers if you cameleers quit.
I stay with camels. Gold can wait.
After blazing a trail across 3 states with the Camel Train, I wrote my official report to Washington. I was truthfully able to say, the camels have proved equal to every test we put them to. Performed tasks which no other animal could possibly have endured. I looked forward, hopefully, to the time when these noble brutes would be in general use in all parts of our country. I was appointed superintendent of Indian Affairs for California and moved my wife and son to Rancho Tejon near the fort. Then came war. Any mail?
Not yet.
Why does it take so long to get an answer from Washington? I still find it hard to think of Jeff Davis as an enemy, President of the Confederacy.
You're really aching to go, aren't you, Ned?
You read my letter to President Lincoln. I meant every word of it. Everything I have in this world I owe to my country. My one wish now is to offer my life for the flag. Come in. Hi, Jolly. You've brought mail.
Yes, Effendi. Excuse, please.
Here it is. An answer from the White House. The President declines my offer.
Ned.
He believes I can do more good for our cause right here in California, where the danger of secession is so great.
You may be right, Ned.
But I've waited so long for active service.
But if you can help save California for the Union, you have great influence here.
I'll do my best.
Effendi,
Yes? What is it?
actually say goodbye.
So you're going to the goldfields at last?
No, Effendi. I joined American Army.
What?
They used me. Carry dispatch cross desert. Wear uniform.
You're a very lucky fella, Hi Jolly. Congratulations.
I said it once and I'll say it again. I haven't time to be bothered. We're fighting a war, not running a zoo. Those camels are a nuisance. I don't care what you do with them, get rid of them. Sell them, auction them off, give them away. Turn them loose, do everything but get rid of them.
Ned, I'm sorry.
I never heard of anything so stupid, so short-sighted. And after the way the camels have proved themselves.
Well, I know how you feel, dear, but war changes everything.
We have thousands of acres of land here. I think nothing of buying 100 head of cattle.
Ned?
Just a passing thought, Mary.
Oh, no, it isn't. You're going to buy those camels yourself. Your mind's all made up.
Well, only those at Fort Tejon. How did you guess?
Well, I've been married to you for quite a few years, darling.
Then you don't mind? I mean, if I give the camels a home here till after the war?
Stay here the rest of their lives if you like.
Oh, Mary, you make me very happy.
And I know somebody else will be very happy, too. Truxton.
Oh, boy. Do you really mean I can have a camel of my own to ride, Papa?
Well, if you treat him right, son.
And if you can stay on him.
Come on, boy.
MC Urquhart!
And was that really the end of the camel? Well, some were sold to circuses, some to mines in Virginia City, and some remained at army posts. General Douglas MacArthur can remember as a little boy in 1885 seeing camels at Fort Selden in Arizona, where his father was a commanding officer. Now, many of the camels were turned loose on the desert. Have they any descendants? Well, your guess is as good as mine. If you see one, let me know.